Standard ninth, History, Chapter 5, The Classical World. Introduction. When America, Australia, and Africa remained outside the mainstream of world history, civilization blossomed in scattered areas of the landmass of Europe and Asia, known as Eurasia. A chain of empires from Rome to Persia to Peshawar began to emerge. The expansion the expansion of major civilization eliminated the geographical gap and paved the way for inter-regional trade contacts and cultural exchange. This led to the transmission of ideas, technology, and art. The great religions of the world, beginning with Buddhism and later continuing with Christianity and Islam, can be understood in this context. Greece, the Hellenic world. Greece was not different from the rest of the world. People were illiterate, craft specialization was primitive, and life was difficult. With the expansion of Sparta, with the exception of Sparta, agriculture was limited by the mountainous terrain. Greece turned into a network of city states. Acropolis, a fortified city of ancient Greeks on a hill in Athens, is an illustrative example of their advancement. The city states fought each other, but they were bound together by trade. The illustrious example for the last one was the Olympic Festival of Sports and Games. Greeks' victory over Persians. King Darius, who was heading a great empire in Persia, decided to conquer the Greek city states. The first Persian attack on Greece failed. This was due to the fact that Persian army suffered from disease and lack of food during its march. The second attack, the Persians avoided the land route and came by sea. The Greeks defeated the Persian army at Marathon. Xerxes, King Darius' successor. Xerxes was the King Darius' successor. He conducted another expedition joined by Spartans. This time, the Athenians persisted in their resistance, and in the final battle fought in Salamis, Persian ships were destroyed. Disheartened, Xerxes returned to Persia without achieving his end. Democracy in Hellenic Greece. When the Greek city states first emerged, they still carried the legacy of the past. Those who grew rich from the expansion of trade resented the privileges enjoyed by the old ruling families. A period of urban development with new buildings and enormous temples such as Olympian Zeus at Athens. Athenian democracy. In Athens, the pressure from below resulted in the replacement of both oligarchy and tyranny by democracy. The lawmaking power in Athens was vested in an assembly. Judges and lower officials were chosen by lords. This arrangement was resented by the upper classes. The history of many Greek city states was one of the continual struggles by rich landowners against democracy. In Athens, democracy survived for about 200 years. Pericles. Athens had a great leader, Pericles, who held power for 30 years. Athens and Sparta were continuously at war with each other. This war is known as Peloponnesian War. Athens became a noble city with magnificent buildings. There were great artists and great thinkers. Historians therefore call this the age of Pericles. Hellenistic civilization. The Greek city states did not have an elaborate bureaucracy. Under Alexander the Great, the Greeks were able to establish a kingdom in Macedonia. This kingdom succeeded in annexing two historic empires of Egypt and the Middle East. The entire period of Alexander's reign was spent on wars. The Greek school of science. Mathematics and philosophy reached its peak in the Greek Egyptian city of Alexandria. Euclid, who formulated the basic theorems of geometry. Eratosthenes, who accurately calculated the diameter of the earth. Hipparchus, the founder of trigonometry. Ptolemy built on Hipparchus' ideas and later developed a model of motion of the planets and stars. Roman Republic. Rome was a society of agriculturists organized through lineages. Roman people were divided into two classes: patricians, rich landlords, and plebeians, common citizens. Taxes on passing traders added to the revenue derived from agriculture. Rome developed into a prosperous town. Class war between patricians and plebeians. Prisoners of war were enslaved in Rome. Big landholders bought slaves cheaply and used them to cultivate their estates. The slave population grew. There were 2 million slaves. The total strength of free population was 3.25 million. Slave labor led to the impoverishment of free labor. Many poor peasants had to abandon their children, who also ended up in the slave markets. The conflict between the plebeians and patricians became bloodier. Tiberius Gracchus and Gaius Gracchus, though patricians, voiced their opinion in the favor of the poor peasants. The peasants supported their programs. The senators, shocked by this development, murdered both of them. The martyrdom of Gracchus' brothers played a decisive role in the transformation of the Roman Republic into the Roman Empire. Transfer of power. When Marius became consul with the support of equites, equites means new rich or propraeted class below the rank of senatorial class, he made an attempt to push through a land distribution bill in the Senate. This led to violence. The allies of Marius were killed. This resulted in a civil war between the followers of Marius and Sulla. Marius Sulla reigned for 3 years. He was killed and succeeded by Cinna and Catilina. Establishment of Principate. The civil wars over social issues ended only to be replaced by civil wars between General Marius and Cinna against Sulla. Marius and Cinna against Sulla. Pompey against Julius Caesar. After Caesar's death, Brutus and Cassius against Mark Antony and Octavian, and finally Octavian against Mark Antony. Octavian, now called Augustus. The period starting from Augustus is known as Principate. Augustus called himself imperator, equivalent to the English word emperor. Society under Principate. During the period of Principate, the imperial ruling class became far more prosperous. The period witnessed a great influx of luxury goods such as silk, spices, and gems from the east. Cities were built on a grand scale with temples, theaters, stadium, colosseum, baths, and markets. The rich people distracted the attention of the poor. The most distinguished writers of Augustan age brought glory to the empire. Pliny the Elder completed a voluminous encyclopedia of science. He called it as Natural History. Seneca was another well-known author of Encyclopedia of Science. Horace, in his Odes, developed a philosophy that combined Epicurean justification of pleasure with Stoic bravery in the face of trouble. Livy was more a prose stylist. The best known historian was Tacitus. Virgil's Aeneid glorified Roman imperialism. The Roman law attained its highest stage of development during the Principate. Colosseum. After the death of Augustus, Rome had few enlightened and capable rulers. Trajan, Antoninus Pius, Marcus Aurelius, All others were tyrants. Marcus Aurelius stands apart from all others. As a philosopher, he authored many books. He was the first Roman emperor to send an embassy to China to establish contact. External invasions, barbarian incursions. The Goth Alaric led his forces to sack Rome. Frank Clovis took control of Gaul. Ostrogoth Theodoric proclaimed himself the Emperor of Rome. The final onslaught came from Vandals. This marked the end of the Western Roman Empire. Empire building in East Asia, that is China. Shi Hongdi, meaning the first emperor. Wan Cheng, he was known as Shi Hongdi. He ended the age of warring states in China. He crushed all local rulers and established a strong central government. Uprisings of the peasantry, unlike in other cultures, such uprising led to the collapse of Qin dynasty. Han dynasty. Han dynasty was founded by Liu Pang. The capital was Chang'an. The most popular and powerful ruler was Wu Ti. His generals succeeded in driving away the Huns in the north. They opened the Silk Roads, the Silk Road for trade. In the north, artisans and herders of rival barbarian dynasties brought in new techniques like the methods of harnessing horses, use of saddles and stirrup, techniques of building bridges and mountain roads and seafaring. Buddhism came to China from India during the reign of Han Dynasty. The influence of Indian art to China, and from China this spread to Korea, and from there it spread to Japan. Rise of Christianity. Glory in the days of David and Solomon. The Jewish people had a great fall and experienced extreme hardship. They hoped that a Messiah would arrive to restore their pristine glory. Jesus was against the rich and the hypocrites and condemned certain observance and ceremonials. This was not to the liking of the priest, who turned against Jesus and handed him over to the Roman governor Pontius Pilate. Looked upon as a political rebel by the Roman authorities, Jesus was tried and crucified. After Jesus' crucifixion, St. Paul started spreading the Christian doctrine. Christianity gradually spread. Romans were prepared to tolerate Christianity, but the refusal of Christians to pay respect to the emperor's image, it led to the persecution of Christians. Their property was confiscated and they were thrown to the lions. One of the Roman emperors, Constantine himself, became a Christian. Christianity thus became the official religion of the empire. Byzantium. The Byzantium emperors who ruled from the city of Constantinople for about 1000 years called themselves Romans. Their language was Greek. St. Sophia Cathedral are the legacies they have left behind. In terms of development of science and technology, there was no progress during this period. The small peasants always lived on the edge of poverty. The economies of the empire's provinces were in the hands of large local landowners. The tottering empire finally fell to the Ottoman Turks in 1453. India during the classical period. The Kushan period corresponded with the Roman Republic. Julius Caesar was alive. The Kushan Empire is said to have sent an embassy to Augustus Caesar, who succeeded Julius. The corresponding period, characterized as Kalabara period, teakwood, pepper, pearl, etc., were exported from Malabar coast to Babylonia, Egypt, Greece, and Rome. Trade with Rome further flourished. Major works of Sangam age: 8 anthologies, Ettutogai, Pattupaattu, compiled during the first 3 centuries of Common Era, were composed during this period. Sangam literature hailed as first secular literature of India. With this, we come to the end of the lesson. Thank you.